and we are going to have a very interesting fireside chat. And we're going to invite Mr. Manoj Kutty, CEO of Greenlight Credentials USA, who's going to be in conversation with Chandresh D. Mehta, the director of Rustamji and chief mentor Easy Life. I want the backend team to have the chairs up, and I'm going to introduce, first of all, both these legendary individuals who are doing some remarkable work in industry and academia. Let me first introduce Mr. Manoj Kutty, an alum of Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Manoj is an entrepreneur and founder of several edtech startups. Formerly the president of Tata Interactive Systems in North America, he founded Loud Cloud, a leading provider of competency-based learning management system, which was sold to Barnes & Noble Education, where he served as the managing director. Currently, he is the founder and CEO of Dallas-based Greenlight Credentials, an advanced technology platform that simplifies record management and helps Student and Education Institute navigate career-connected pathways. Recently, it launched its flagship AI-powered recognized career readiness platform, Get Set to Work in India, which we're going to present it next. And then you're going to introduce?
My pleasure to introduce Mr. Chandresh Mehta, one of the founding pillars behind Rustamji, which is one of Mumbai's most trusted and respected real estate brands. Under his leadership, Rustamji has delivered over 23 million square feet of thoughtfully crafted residential and commercial spaces to more than 16,000 families across Mumbai. An IT alumnus with an MBA from the Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, Mr. Chandresh Mehta is also chief mentor of Easy Life, India's first services marketplace. Over to you, Manoj, for a fiery fireside chat.
But Manoj, the caution is don't fire the stage.
Manoj, go easy on me. Huh?
Well, very nice to be here and nice to meet all of you. Bhavin, thank you for the kind introduction. Chandresh and I were graduate students in MBA 33 years ago. And this is the first time that we have shared a stage together, though we were very close friends when we were in school. He's been a very successful entrepreneur, and I thought all of you, as well as me, we would benefit from hearing his journey and how he transformed this company from $0 to almost $1 billion. So, Chandresh, maybe we'll just kick this off and maybe start by saying, what were some of the skills that the college that we attended taught you when you started, and how did those skills have to transform itself as you began to lead this company, which has now become so huge?
So, thank you, Manoj, and thank you, Education World, for inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to relate my story. I guess it's not about me as an individual or Rustamji as an organization. I think I'm in an august gathering of academia, people who are actually shaping the next generation. And it's very important. I mean, for me, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this entire event. But before I answer that question, Manoj, let me just take you to the history of the organization and where we all started this, and then I'll come to this question. So Rustamji is a brand. We are a first-generation real estate developers. By qualification, I'm an electrical engineer, so no knowledge, no experience in how to make buildings. My partner, Baman Irani, is again a mechanical engineer from Bombay University. Again, no prior experience in real estate and construction. But when we started off, we were all of, this is about 30 years back, we were all of 26, 27. It was like a startup. And like any startup, from watchman to chairman, it was us. Right from solving and taking very strategic decisions to actually going on the site and micromanaging the daily issues, all was done by us. Uh, and from there, today, from a 3-member organization today, uh, directly on our roles, we've got about 1,200 people uh, across various departments, right from execution to architecture, design, design development, marketing and sales, finance. Incidentally, we are a listed company, so huge amount of compliance that goes along with that. So that has been a journey. But to answer your question, what are the skills that I learned in college? As an engineer, I was taught to think vertically, break the problem into small bits, question assumptions, look at data, and come to a conclusion. And this is what engineering taught me. A lot of vertical thinking, a lot of discipline in thinking. In MBA, it was diametrically opposite. While in engineering, 2 plus 2 was always equal to 4, in MBA, 2 plus 2 is any number but 4. And that is the kind of lateral thinking what I was taught in MBA. A lot of strategy, a lot of customer interface, which in marketing we call gut feeling. And those are the things that were taught to me in MBA. While these are the stuff that I learned in college, but there was a whole lot of other things that my business taught me. So what is it that business taught me which was not taught in the institutes, whether it was engineering or MBA? Is to how to negotiate in a difficult situation where both sides have to win. How to deal with a customer, how to deal with a constantly shifting environment, both figuratively and in my trade, literally. How to take a decision when you have less than 60% of the information at hand. So these are the things you don't learn in college, which
Can I
only
just
a job
interrupt and
teaches
ask you, can colleges teach these kind of skills?
So as Joe mentioned earlier, the courses that we have in colleges today are meant for a different generation and meant for a different environment. So they are meant for a different generation. If you look at today's generation, I think that the way today's generation thinks is quite different from what our generation thought, or probably the next generation after us thinks. The Gen Z, the way to approach them is totally different, and things that would have worked in the college, worked with us, probably won't work with them. So what are the things that I think are important going forward? While domain knowledge is important, as a civil engineer, you need to know civil engineering. But cross-domain knowledge is also important. So if I recruit an engineer on my site, while he may know about civil engineering, but he has no idea of regulation. He has no idea of the National Building Code. He has no idea of RERA. And so these are the things that I have to teach him on the job. If probably the college takes some interest, come to the industry and understand what exactly are the skills that are needed for a civil engineer to perform on a job. For example, we at Rustomjee deliver high-end apartments. And any of the apartment, the minimum ticket size is upwards of 5 crores. So not only are you supposed to know your job in terms of how to build, but you also may have the possibility of interacting with the end consumer. So customer experience mindset and thinking is also very important. So these are the cross-domain knowledge and information which I probably expect an institute to deliver. For example, for an architect that I employ on my site, while he may know design, but he has no idea of the building regulation or the development control regulation. He has no idea of RERA. And these are skills that are very important for him to effectively do his job.
Now, when you think about skills, and we heard Dr. May talk about how AI is changing the way all of us are working, what are some of the skills that you see, not just in your own industry, but other industries that maybe you have suppliers, or maybe you have other vendors. What are the kind of skills that you see are probably going to be most important over the next few years?
Okay.
And also, how can universities support that?
So one thing which that I see going forward is going to become very, very important is data fluency. I mean, ability to read data, understand data, and get out some meaning out of it is going to be very important, whether you are in civil engineering or you are in production or you are in mechanical or any industry. Understanding data is going forward is going to be very important. That's one. Second, regulatory intelligence. Again, whether it is my industry or telecommunication or power, all these industries are regulated. So knowledge and information about regulation to effectively do your job is also very important. Cross-domain expertise. While you may have understanding of your domain, but if you have knowledge and experience of information about related domains, again, you'd probably score compared to anybody who has just knowledge in their own domain. Don't misunderstand me. Depth does count, but going forward, breadth will also count. Customer experience thinking. Whether it is my industry or any other industry, finally, we are all here to serve an end consumer. And some amount of insight into how a consumer thinks, again, is going to be a game changer. So these are some of the skills which are probably needed to do a job, which somehow colleges and institutions have not figured out a way to deliver those.
In that same context, you did mention more, you are in a very competitive industry. And you've competitive in terms of selling your product, but also competitive in terms of finding talent and training that talent and getting that talent very quickly to start to work. And I think one of the things that you mentioned is that you wish that the universities would basically provide that finished product faster. They were not able to do that. So you ended up building one of the largest skills library in the construction industry. Just take us through that. Why did you do it? What does that skills library look like? And how is it really helping you, deliver to the end consumer faster?
So when I recruit a civil engineer, unfortunately, no civil engineer, and as Joe again mentioned, the mechanical engineer or the production engineer does not even know how to hold a screwdriver. And that's the same story across the board. So when we recruit a civil engineer, he has never held a thapi. Thapi is something that you use to plaster. Never laid a brick. Does not know how to cut wood or steel. So on-job knowledge is zero. While the college may teach him about structural engineering, what is concrete, what is good concrete, bad concrete, but those are hygiene. Those are given. And while the colleges train the civil engineers to become structural engineers, probably less than 1% of the entire batch would probably be going into designing. The remaining 99% comes on the sites like us. And then we have to teach them from scratch. So what exactly do we do? So in the good old days, whenever we started a news site, we gave an ad in the newspaper, site engineer needed, X is the pre-qualification, this is the qualification we need, and Y is the experience that we need. Now with that, what was happening, just as we are growing, and we are growing in a phenomenal pace, we are virtually doubling our volume every 2 years. And so is my competition. I mean, everybody in Mumbai is growing. And we are finally trying to draw water from the same well. There is no more water there. And so what are we doing now? We are stealing from each other. So I steal your engineer, somebody else steals my engineer. And this goes about like a round robin. In the bargain, the wages go up, efficiency comes down. So what is it that we did in our organization? There are some 200 odd processes that we have to undertake to finish a building, right from excavation to tiling to plumbing, electrical, firefighting. There are some 200 odd processes we run. We converted each process into a bite-sized video. No video more than 10 minutes. And each video gave relevant information with respect to what is the site preparation needed, what is the full kitting of that particular job. By full kitting, I mean what is the equipment required, what are the plans required, what is the material required, what is the kind of labor required for the job. Then we step by step converted that process into small bits and pieces so that he has total end-to-end visibility of that process. And we also gave the relevant information as to what does the finished product look like, how to evaluate it in terms of quality, and how to evaluate in terms of quantity. And all this in a bite-sized video of 10 minutes. And with this, what did we do? These 200 videos are not played in one shot. These videos are played whenever the site is ready to undertake that job. And this information in this video is played only for the person who's actually responsible for that job. So with this, what did we do? No longer we have training sessions of week, 10 days. It doesn't work with this generation. By the time that knowledge is needed on the site, it is no longer fresh in the mind. He has forgotten about it, and probably he's not even understood it at that point of time. With this generation, it is not that they don't have an attention span. If the information or the knowledge that you're giving them has no relevance, he automatically disengages. So what is it that we did? We gave that video to be viewed only when the site is ready to receive that job. We evaluated him, and the moment that happens, when he executes the job, the kind of satisfaction that he gets, the kind of dopamine effect it gives, further reinforces the learning that he has understood from the video. So this is how we have transformed our learning, and this is how we are generating fresh site supervisors and fresh site engineers.
Well, that's fascinating, and I think as more and more employers start basically rolling these on-demand training, I suspect even universities will start to integrate that kind of curriculum into their programs. One last question, this is more of an observation that I read recently. India spends the fewest amount of money in research and development. It's about 0.4% of our GDP. The United States is over 5%, China is over 5%, European countries are very high. And in the US, it's research and development is not just with the employers, but historically it's always been at universities. The internet came out of the universities, whether it is almost every new technology that you can think of came out from universities. Why is it that Indian universities don't invest in R&D, and what can employers do to maybe partner or maybe hold them to greater accountability? Because where does this come from? Who pushes whom to ensure that there is this R&D culture growing in the country?
I think what institutes need to do is to get industry in the classroom well in advance, not only during the placement season. They need to get us while they are designing the curriculum. That's when they will figure out that what exactly is the need of the hour. As again, Joe rightly pointed out, demand comes first, policy gets framed later, and implementation of the policy is again a different ballgame altogether. And by the time the policy is implemented, the demand has changed. I think we need to break that curve. I think you need to get the industry in your classroom well in advance. When you do that, all these issues, whether it's issue of training, it's issue of curriculum, or it is issue of research, all those things will get sorted out if institutes, colleges, work closely with industry.
So my assumption here is that since you're representing the industry and these are university partners, if anybody wants to basically take up his offer, catch hold of him and say, help me design a better curriculum. Well, thank you very much. I keep
Definitely.
seeing
Thank
this
you.
time's up. Great chatting with you, Chandresh, and very nice meeting all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.